shows, I'm never disrespectful. I'm not polite. I don't make small talk with Nazis, but I'm not disrespectful. And I watch people like, Scott Jennings, lacking in any kind of intellect and making it for vulgarity be celebrated by networks. And yet I am considered a controversial guest. He's considered that crazy Scott. He's entertaining, but I'm considered a controversial guest. I'm considered the person who makes everybody uncomfortable. And it's infuriating, but I think it's time, I know a long time ago, we got exhausted with asking for a seat at the table. CNN's ratings are horrific. I know the press release likes to make it look pretty. It's not going well because they are trying to be dry. They're trying to be Fox News light.
The destroying of cable news TV, getting rid of outstanding, highly educated Black sisters such as Tiffany fine-ass thick-tongue Cross, or Joy in the morning, Joy at night Reid. They got rid of these highly educated Black women because they wasn't having that mess and they came with receipts. And this video, my big sister Joy breaks down a politician in Virginia who is doing something that so many of them are doing across America, which is just letting out their racism. And the question that we all have is, white America, when are you going to stand up to this? Taking a stand means your friends that are racist, drop them. Your family that are racist, drop them. Because that racism is what's dividing the nation, and it's also dividing us from wealth. We'll discuss that. And we've also got more and more folks of the fallout from MAGA and what it has been doing to people with these crazy ass prices. We'll break it all down. Lamont Tyson, Politics of Being Black. We start right now.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that full. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
You're in the building. All knowing, all loving, all feeling, all seeing, all powerful. Just damn all everything. Sexy as hell. Host of this channel, me, Lamont Tyson. And what do we do on this channel, ladies and gentlemen? We take some predetermined political topics, break them down, we review them, and I do the best I can to explain how it relates to Black folks in our politics and how Black politics reflects to the nation. And we also cover just how all these pre-set in place societal norms that were put in place by racist white men were put here to divide us, and I give you examples of such things. And it's up to you, audiences outside of the minorities, well, even including the minorities, to help fix these things so that we can make America a better place for all of us. I take questions via Super Chat at the end because I love to hear what you guys have to say about the things going on. Let's just go ahead and jump on into it. So as I said in the beginning, my big sister, Joy in the morning, Joy at night, Harvard-educated journalist, a real journalist, who doesn't have her job at the National Airways because they don't want journalists no more, ladies and gentlemen. You heard that from Tiffany thick-tongue, fine-ass Cross in the beginning. They just want TV that caters to the old guard, the Fox News ages, because the new guard is watching everything on social media, and these news outlets would be better served to start working with us a little more. But she's going to break down the clip, folks, of a congressperson who is so happy that the judges in VA shot down the redistricting, going against the Constitution, clearly going against the people. Hakeem Jeffries thought it was stupid, and she wants to relate him to a cotton-picking nigga. Take a look at my big sister Joy as she reacts to this clip. The family thinks we need to go for that sister that you just showed to get this white lady up out of there. So in that clip, folks, it's not just that lady that we need to be getting on. We also need to get on the radio host and the people in that area that allow for that type of bull jive. For years, white people have done that to Black folks and tell us we're hearing what we want to hear, when in all honesty, they're just saying whatever the fuck they want to say. And when we call them out on it and it's made clear that they're wrong, you know what they do? They always want to do First Amendment, or they always want to complain we don't know how to take a joke. You want to see how this society has put the hypocrisy into white people. Not only do they gaslight us when we know something is racist by trying to tell us it's not, but then when we call them to the carpet on their shit, they all of a sudden want to try to do it to us. So Charlie Kirk's buddy got mad at a joke, somebody roasting Charlie Kirk. Hypocrisy here? Take a look.
This is about somebody who was murdered, and in really the most grotesque, like, public way imaginable, and he happens to be our close friend. And so for me, my perspective is just, I can't obviously divorce myself from the immediacy of the person that we're, talking about here, Charlie. But two, I don't think it was funny. And when I saw the clip this morning, my instinct was I just cringed, because kind of in the similar vein that the people in the audience, like, that groan, because, I'm not here to tell comedians that they can't do it. You can joke about whatever you want. I think comedy can be a really powerful outlet, especially when the culture was getting increasingly woke. Guys like Dave Chappelle were like this release valve on some of these tense cultural moments. I thought they were really important. I think comedians can be very important. For this particular moment, I just felt distasteful. This is a...
I couldn't pull the clip from that roast because of the demonetization and all that. But folks, I want you to go compare what he's talking about to Black people being called racist who are still alive. Not saying that dead people don't need respect, but I mean, I respect the folks who are living, because we can do more for them. We can encourage them. We can help them. We can try to see that they live a longer life so that we can enjoy their company. Compare that joke that he's talking about from the Netflix Kevin Hart thing that just came out to this lady basically co-signing Cory Booker cotton picking. And you tell me which one you feel the worst about. That is the hypocrisy white guys want us to live our lives by when they're not living by the shit themselves. Post your comments. Let me know what you guys think. Here's another one, folks, that should be frustrating, that a lot of things that are going on in the nation are distractions from this. Republicans are still dodging the Epstein files. Here we go.
I'm on my way to West Palm Beach, where the House Oversight Committee is holding a hearing on Jeffrey Epstein less than 5 miles away from Mar-a-Lago. And the location is important. Not only was the President's Country Club a prime location where Epstein groomed underage employees, it's where the sex trafficker was arrested, charged, pled guilty, and then given a sweetheart deal from prosecutors that allowed him to continue running his multi-billion-dollar criminal enterprise for another decade. Holding this hearing in Epstein and Trump's backyard is a major escalation. We're going to hear from some of Epstein's victims and expert witnesses, which sources couldn't tell me who that was due to security reasons, but I'm hoping we hear from detectives or lawyers involved in the 2008 conviction, former employees, and neighbors who can give an inside look at their comings and goings. The hearing is going to be live streamed on the House Oversight Committee Democrats YouTube channel. It won't be on the Oversight's main social channels because Republicans aren't participating. I'll be in the hearing as part of our ongoing investigation into the Trump administration's cover-up of what's contained in the Epstein files. We're looking into why there's been no accountability for his clients, accomplices, or co-conspirators. After the hearing, I'll be speaking with whoever I can. If you have any questions in mind, let me know what to ask and I'll do my best.
This is just so frustrating. That is another one of these societal myths that the rich white guys that set up this country and put things in place really want accountability for all. They don't want it for themselves. And that they aren't into grotesque things like having sex with underage kids. They are. And these Republicans are not showing up, which should be spread across the news more, because why are you not showing up? First, they lied and said it was a hoax. It's not a hoax. Then they lied and said we were going to release all the files. Haven't released all the files. And the files haven't been released, ladies and gentlemen, because there are too many powerful people, not just in America, but worldwide, who get in trouble and would have to go to jail. And when Democrats get power, and folks, no matter what barrier they're throwing in front of us, Democrats will get power. They just have to wield it like Thor wields Mjolnir. They're going to have to drop the hammer every time they can. You're going to have to go after these people, Democrat and Republican. Fuck them. Burn it all down. Remember Trump said he was going to drain the swamp, and the people on the right who really aren't that smart, that try to pretend like they are, they can only sit through sound bites like "Make America Great Again" or "Lock her up." They can't go beyond that statement. Remember how they was all for releasing these files, and now all of a sudden the only people who are for releasing the files are people who are planning to run for national office, like Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene, trying to replace MAGA. Come on, y'all. We can do better than this. At the end of the day, I complain to you all that we have a large contagion of people in America that want to choose hate over putting food on their plate. And I just got finished trading stocks, and guess what? They're red today. You know why? Because the CPI numbers month over month came in warmer than expected. Wages are down, gas prices up, food prices up. You know whose fault that is? It's show the hell ain't Biden. It's show the hell ain't Obama. It's Trump. He's trampling on these very minions that went and stormed the Capitol and not giving them anything back but symbolic shit. Hate does not put food on your plate. And we've got to hold these people. And that's a phrase I hate. I hate saying hold them accountable. What the fuck does that mean? Unless you are going to forcibly make somebody do something, nobody's going to do anything. And at some point in time, Democrats, you have got to forcefully make Republicans do something. Look at how they forcefully make your asses do stuff. And then you've got to clean house with that are basically center right. I saw what Chris Coons is voting for Trump's new Kevin Warsh. Come, what are we doing? What are we doing? That's not helping nobody. You fight. Even though we don't have the majority, you still put up a fight. Why are we helping these clowns do anything? They're destroying the economy. And at the detriment of people who want to put food on their plate that didn't choose hate. So folks, post your comments. How long is it going to take before we actually get some asses in jail? We actually go after people, lock them up for these Epstein files, one of the most heinous, largest criminal situations we've ever had surrounding the White House and any administration. And the party in charge is turning the other cheek. Post your comments. Let me know what you think. Speaking of racism, folks, as we discuss MAGA and how racism is making people more happy than putting food on their plate, here's a person who had a whole lot to say about that. Let me put her picture up here so that you can go support her on her channel. Happy Mama Grandma One. Oh, and by the way, Joy Reid's link is in the video description to support her. Listen to what she has to say about people still loving Trump, even with all the racism going on.
Trottle Dump has posted over 50 times in the last hour. It is 11 o'clock in DC. 45 of them are about Obama and that it has been proven that he committed treason. Tulsi Gabbard came out with some bombshell evidence that proves that he rigged the 2020 election and the Russia, and he is guilty of treason. The other couple were this black man knocking over this tray of plates, highlighting a comment that says, I wouldn't call him a man. A real man would never disrespect another person like this. I'll call him what he is, a POS. He shared a video of, as you can see, a black woman always scheming. Apparently she had ordered DoorDash and then canceled the order so she could keep the food. And he shared a video of black children, young adults, as you can see, stealing, highlighting a comment that said, this is why the convenience store chain Wawa is closing stores one after another. Yeah.
That stuff makes me laugh, people, because the only people who actually believe in those societal stereotypes that white men put in place that I'm trying to get y'all to understand and debunk is white people who live in a bubble, who don't believe in education, who've never gotten outside their bubble, the type of places where you have cities that have two last names, 3,000 people because they country fucking. That's the only. And Democrats have not done a good enough job of instituting education in school so that the new generation can grow up and understand how we've been lied to by society, how that country bubble that they're in is not penetrating and telling them the real truth of everything. Because let me tell y'all something. Children do not come out of their mama's lips, the ones between their legs, racist. It is taught. And if you can teach them to be racist, you can teach them to be apathetical. You can teach them to have sympathy. You can teach them the real history of this country. And you can teach them to do right by everybody and not just do right by your race, assuming that doing right by your race is going to help you get ahead, because it's not. What they do with race, ladies and gentlemen, is divide those very dumb people so that they can keep voting to keep the rich elite rich. And the rich elite, how do they keep the dumb people rich? By giving them hate, because they would rather choose hate than putting food on their plate. Prime example of what Trump is doing. These people out here are hurting. They're crying for money. There's interviews out there with people in Ohio and everywhere where gas is going up. And I just told y'all the CPI numbers. They are hurting. I mean, like, one cat can't even afford to go to his job. Can't afford it. But you know what? There's plenty of these country screwing each other folks that still would rather sit around, pretty much be thrown out of their house, as long as they know that Bonquisha, Montressa, Leroy ain't getting nothing. And that's the problem. And Democrats have turned their back on this issue for years as if it's going to go away. No, you have got to start playing the long game to save this country. Critical thinking and education in schools, mandatory. Fuck it, mandatory. If they want to cheat and gerrymander House seats, when you get power, cheat and increase the Senate seats in bigger states. And last but not least, this electoral college, ladies and gentlemen. If we don't get rid of that, we're in serious trouble, because that is the last vestige that is allowing the dumb minority to control the smart majority. Post your comments, let me know what you think. Last thing we're going to get to is how cable media has just been absolutely sabotaging itself. Instead of going for news, they want to go for fake news. Tiffany Cross absolutely eviscerates CNN and others for this behavior. Tiffany Cross was on her shit. I love my little Tiffany Cross with her thick tongue. I love my Joy Reid auntie. Educated women. Katie Fang, I'll throw her name out there. Highly educated women. Do research. You saw the video Joy Reid did. She did research, and she's not even on TV getting paid to do that. She just wake up out of bed that way. And they can't get positions in news media because we're having too much of this fascism going on where they don't want people to know the real truth. Take a listen to my sis, Tiffany.
People see that as a stepping stone in their career, but Melissa Harris Perry, Joy Reid, Tiffany Cross, Roland Martin, they've been us over for years. Mm-hmm. And I'm just wondering, what if in this moment we all said we're not doing your shows anymore? Is that too drastic? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think it's too drastic. I don't think it is rational, because okay, so they say y'all not coming on, then we will give you, Clay Cane, we will give you a contract. And so now Clay Cane has a contract to still go on and talk to people who are his intellectual lessers, people who are insulting people, like what you bring to the table, what qualifications you would have to get that contract still far they leapfrog over the qualifications that our white counterparts have to show up with. I think the true power brokers in the cable news reality shows are the viewers themselves. It would take people to say, I am not tuning into this foolishness, because even when you hate watch, you are still giving them numbers. You are still, even when you post the clips, share the clips, do all of that, which I've certainly done, you're their commercial. You are there saying, look at this food, look at the circus act. And it says to the executives, like, oh, this is a thing that's working. And, you know, I know there's a lot of criticism for Abby's show and, you know, the things that happen on that show. But I just want to point out to people that the same despicable, disgusting people who appear on that show, they do not appear on Abby's show exclusively. They appear all across that network. They appear all across other networks. They're not exclusive. And, you know, I think the sad part is, you know, Scott Jennings is one of the more disgusting people who appears on that show. I think they adhere to him. They offer deference to him. He refuses to panel with me, along with some other Republicans. And so I've essentially been disinvited from the show because
they call it shadow banned, y'all. They call it shadow banned.
Yes. And you know, this is just a rumor. You know, I haven't heard this, but that's what a little birdie told me, that he allegedly says he does not want to panel with me, along with a few other Republicans. But here is the interesting thing about this. Number one, that was not my favorite way to spend my time. But I do like Abby personally. We may disagree professionally about how she uses her platform, but I think Abby is so smart and so talented. And I just disagree with her on how she, you know, does the show. And I think the show is beneath the beautiful, smart, intellectual person that I know her to be. But she has a hard time, you know, dealing with executives over there.
Yes, folks, that CNN show has done turned into fucking Jerry Springer. My old heads will know who Jerry Springer is. It has really turned into live Jerry Springer. That's what it's turned into, because I'm preaching that Democrats have got to help with education. Networks have got to do the same thing too if you believe in democracy. And they don't. They don't believe in it. Like they believe in, we've got to do whatever it takes to get our bottom line done. Well, eventually, I can't even say eventually, it's happening now. Your bottom line is being shaped by the fascists telling you what you have to do on your network. That is going to happen more and more. You need to fight it. You need to bring diverse voices up there, because oftentimes people don't hear what's really going on in the world when you get those MAGA pundits on your show. They don't hear it. And that's why CNN's ratings are in the tank. There are people with podcasts and YouTube channels who have better ratings than CNN. And not just people, there's progressives who are doing better, because most progressive individuals don't want to hear that. Now, I am guilty of what Tiffany has said people do, which is sharing the clips. And I'm guilty of it because even YouTube and TikTok neuter some of the things you can share. And there have been actual, real, provable things you can share that YouTube and TikTok have neutered, won't let you do it or won't let you get paid for it. But you can turn around, go get a clip from fucking Tucker Carlson that is a complete lie, and you can have the live version with the truth and put it on TikTok and they're fine with it. You put it on YouTube, they're fine with it. So, folks, it's as simple as this. It is important that you support independent media. That's number one. It is important that you also learn how to do proper inputs into chat bots so that you can understand what the real truth is. And here's the thing that scares me with those. Even those are being controlled by fascism. Has anybody ever tried to do a search on Gronk? Gronk is the most racist AI. Gronk's AI is more racist than the shit the Jetsons had back on their show. That little robot they had that always did all the cleaning and everything. Gronk is more racist than that. So you've got to be careful. I said all that to say it's just a lot of work we got to do. And it all starts with each and every one of you being little engines of referring people to the right places to get information, being little engines of telling people you're not going to put up with racism in your life, being little engines of hope, because there is no clear-cut candidate right now that inspires hope more than Donald Trump inspires hate. So post your comments. Let me know what you guys think. That is going to do it for the video today. Again, don't forget, your boy does do stock trading every day. This is my channel. win by losing in stocks. If you want to get a one-on-one to understand my system, there's the link. I didn't take any trades today, so I'm going to save y'all the boredom of going and looking. The market is horrible because of those CPI numbers. We are still in negotiations with Iran and the Strait of Hormuz. Bonds are up. Risk assets are down. It was nothing for me to trade today. And I don't trade small caps. I refuse to trade them right now. So it would be boring to go watch me today, but go watch yesterday. I did take a trade yesterday that was very successful. If you want to get that one-on-one with me, there it is, calendly.com/Lamont Tyson. And until that next sexy as hell political video, your boy's out.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that pull. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.